Joining Antonio and me for this discussion about this mission SAVE from the St. Louis Circuit Attorney's Office, Assistant Circuit Attorney of the City of St. Louis, Krista Boston, is at the table, and also Tim McDermott with the Drug Enforcement Agency, Special Agent in Charge in the St. Louis Division. So when the, you're shaking your head, no, did I make a mistake? I'm sorry.
I'm Assistant Special Agent in Charge.
Assistant Special Agent in Charge. Your boss would not appreciate that. I apologize.
No problem.
Thanks for correcting me. Start me off. Why are the feds at the table on this discussion? Is that a sign that things are even worse than we might think?
No, it's a sign that the resources are coming together between the state and local agency and the federal agencies to combat crime in St. Louis. We're taking a approach with the federal agencies, resources, the U.S. Attorney's Office, the county, the city, the City Prosecutor's Office, as well as the FBI, DEA, St. Louis PD, the county PD, and we're all coming together under one roof to combat crime and those individuals that are committing the crime in St. Louis.
So what can we do? What can our city police, for instance, do with you guys in the mix, with the prosecutor's office all at the same time? What can they do that they couldn't do before the federal government was involved?
Well, the difference is we have different laws that we can charge in the federal system. We bring resources that the state and locals don't have. We also bring intelligence that they may or may not have. And we bring expertise that we are focused in long-term investigations, and we are focused on certain type of violators that meet the standards of the U.S. Attorney's Office. And unfortunately, we've come to that point where some of these people are moving large amounts of drugs, are involved in violence with firearms, and those are the people that we are directed towards based on intelligence, and those are the investigations that we will do and are doing as we speak.
Krista, how much of what we're talking about here has to do directly with drugs? There's been a lot of conversation nationally that we've over-sentenced when it comes to drugs and other things of that nature. How much do drugs really play into the violence we're seeing this past 7 months?
I think we're seeing that the drugs are a part of, they're a systemic problem in the city. As Alderman French was talking about, all kinds of systemic problems, and that's one of the parts of Mission SAVE is this holistic approach. And that includes, while we're concentrating on those folks that are crime drivers driving the violence, we're also looking at a more holistic look in terms of bringing the community involvement into the system and looking at ways to find those folks that can be redirected, that they're starting out in this area and redirecting them.
So what does that mean? Because I've heard knocking on the doors. We heard from Rick earlier talking about folks who have come out of prison and are statistically speaking likely to re-offend. What does this look like in real terms? How do you prevent a crime? Is that what you're trying to do?
Well, I think there are some folks that are starting out in the life of crime that can be redirected through social services, through community involvement. That's the holistic approach, and that's what we're looking at. Mission SAVE is looking at it, and our office, the Circuit Attorney's Office, has completely reorganized to look towards this. We were looking at that before 2015. That was something that was things that we were looking at. We've been involved with the community for over a decade, but now we're getting the community further involved to help redirect folks that we can. There's obviously going to be individuals that require removal from society because they are involved in the violence that's plaguing our city. But we certainly want to tailor how we're looking at both the crime drivers of the violence and those folks that we can reach through the community engagement in this holistic approach.
I think the chief said that if not for this Mission SAVE that had been going on kind of behind the scenes until this past week, that the numbers we're looking at in terms of homicides could be even higher. Do you feel like is that true?
I agree. We never know what we don't know. So this task force is going after the folks that have not been able to be rehabilitated, haven't taken the opportunities to seek out jobs, seek out other avenues other than crime. And when they get to our level, unfortunately, that's the last for them. So we are seeking them out. We are doing investigations currently right now to try to take those people off the street, because we know those are the people that are prone to violence, prone to use guns, and are selling large amounts of drugs to continue to support their livelihood as well as their criminal activity.
I want to add one more person to this conversation.